Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. For today's video, we've got a pretty interesting scene to talk about. What you're looking at happens to be a still image that was released by ILM during what I believe was the IBC conference in Amsterdam earlier this year. Now, in this picture, we get a good look at Geraldine Chaplin's character, Iris, being cornered by a stand-in that would later have been covered in CGI to create the Indoraptor. This scene was obviously supposed to take place inside of the Lockwood estate and would have ended in the death of Maisie's elderly and protective nanny. Now, some may say that we don't really know whether or not she would have died just by going off of this still image, and because of this, I think it's important to go into a little bit of more information that we should talk about. Now, not too long ago, after the release of Fallen Kingdom, I actually got a message from someone who had the pleasure of interviewing Geraldine Chaplin. And in that message, the actress herself revealed that she has a very cool scene in which she gets killed by the lead antagonist Dinosaur. After having already seen the movie myself, I kinda stopped to think about what exactly happened to Iris and recalled that after she gets fired by Mills, she's understandably absent for the rest of the film. Judging by what we can see here, this wasn't always going to be the case. So in short, yes, there exists a scene that was filmed which would basically show Iris getting killed by the Indoraptor during what looks like would have been the creature's pursuit of Maisie. The protective nanny that raised both Lockwood's real daughter as well as the artificial clone probably stepped in to prevent the child from being killed, and it would have led to a very tragic and heroic death. Very similar to what we got to see in the Lost World Jurassic Park with Eddie Carr stomping on the gas in an effort to save his friends while the Tyrannosaurs ripped his Mercedes-Benz apart. So, does this mean that Iris is in fact dead in the canon of Jurassic Park? No, not yet. In a recent interview with Colin Trevorrow, Entertainment Weekly published the answer to that very question. After asking what happened to Iris, the writer-director revealed that there was a reason that they lost track of her in the story. He says he doesn't want to identify where she is, but goes on to say that she is indeed not dead. The interviewer immediately followed up this answer with another question asking if we'd see her return in the final film, and Trevorrow was quick to say that he can't reveal that information just yet. If I had to guess, I'd say that Iris will probably make a return, but again, I'm not so sure, to be brutally honest. So now that we know that Iris has a deleted scene in which she was supposed to get killed by the Indoraptor, the next logical question to ask would be, why did they cut the scene? And believe it or not, we may already know the answer to that as well. Now, I've seen a lot of talk online about Fallen Kingdom undergoing reshoots that would have changed the ending of the movie and basically redone what was going to be in the original climax. While this isn't something that's really unheard of in the franchise, I mean, technically every single one of these movies has had the endings changed, I will say that I don't believe I recall there ever being any news that Fallen Kingdom would undergo reshoots. In fact, I thought that just like The Lost World, this movie actually wrapped filming ahead of schedule. But then again, also like The Lost World, we've got evidence of quite a few deleted scenes, as well as confirmation that the ending was changed during production of the movie. Bottom line, it looks like the reason it was cut was because they changed the ending of the film. This doesn't really change anything in the final product in retrospect. With Iris being let go, she's got a pretty good reason to book it. However, I will say this would have been infinitely better to see, in my honest opinion. Now, I'm going to be incredibly real with you guys and say that I wouldn't be surprised if one of the reasons they cut this out of the movie was because of all of the criticism Jurassic World got with Zara's death. After the fourth film came out, there was a lot of talk about why the only people to die in a Jurassic Park movie absolutely have to earn their deaths, and that because of Zara being someone who was killed in a brutal way for no apparent reason other than spectacle, some viewers felt put off by it and said it wasn't the Jurassic way. That's totally fine, and even though it's an interpretation of the scene that I do not share, I do want to say that the criticism Jurassic World got really did influence what we got in Fallen Kingdom. Trevorrow has confirmed that yes, he absolutely listened to the complaints some people had with the last movie, and tried to apply them to what was shown in the newest entry. Now, even though I don't agree with the detractors of Zara's death, I think they absolutely have the right to voice their opinion. As do I. And my final words on this particular subject are going to be this. I am not someone who only cares about Jurassic Park. I'm someone who loves The Lost World. I may not like JP3, but I totally respect other fans that do. And I'm not just a fan of the first movie. I don't think the first movie is the only good entry in the series. I also enjoy both of Crichton's novels, in which you can also find Eddie Carr getting a death that he most definitely did not deserve. Colin Trevorrow has stated that in his opinion, an unearned death is the definition of terror, and I wholeheartedly agree with him on that. And for the record, I want to make it clear that some people that didn't like Zara's death did like Eddie Carr's death, so I don't want to paint it black and white. Whether or not any of that influenced Iris's death, I can't honestly say for sure, but I will say that with Fallen Kingdom only having Lockwood being the, quote, good guy to get killed, I'd say this particular criticism shouldn't have been listened to. I don't usually give a hot take like this, but I felt like I had to in order to keep it real with you guys. Yeah, I would have liked to see a tragic death of another heroic character in a Jurassic movie. It was in the writing for this movie. But yeah, it's not in there anymore. I'm fully aware that not everyone shares this opinion with me, but hey, I don't want to just lie and say that I'm glad they cut the scene. I'm not. Now before I go, I want to thank my game wardens, as well as all of my InGen executives. I'd also like to thank all of my park workers and InGen hunters as well. Words can't really express how awesome it is to have you guys tell me how much you enjoy the stuff I do, and I seriously am extremely thankful for everything that you guys do to show support. Honestly guys, it means the world. Now, I'd like to thank you all for watching this video, and hope that you all enjoyed today's content. If you feel like I deserve it, I'd appreciate the like and hope that you'll consider subscribing if you're interested in hearing from me again. I'll see you all in the next video, guys, and as always, Lost World rules.